Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are watching this out there on the World Wide Web. This is Jeremy Geelan for SYS-CON TV. I'm here at 10th Cloud Expo, New York. 10th, says Treb Ryan, formerly CEO of OpSource, a dynamic young man, but he came to enough Cloud Expos that he got snapped up. And now you really have to tell us where you fit in. I mean, your town is like mine, so you're clearly not working hard at all.
Well, Dimension Data, who acquired us, only does about 17% of their business in the U.S., so I don't think I've spent a lot of time in the U.S. over the last 12 months. And the weather is much nicer in South Africa this time of the year.
Is that the headquarters?
Yeah, they're headquartered in South Africa, but their business pretty evenly spread. The cloud business unit, which I'm now part of, is based in Melbourne, Australia. So we have people all over the world now.
Treb Ryan has outgrown Cloud Expo. It's a great story, though.
You guys have gotten as big as we have, though, at this point in time. So.
We don't get to go to South Africa, but it's a nice story. You had an incredible thing going on. Somebody snapped you up. Share that with people. How does it work? You were actually negotiating when last we spoke a year ago.
Yeah, I was running back and forth with the lawyers and then coming back to Cloud Expo. This was a lot more enjoyable part of the week, to say the least. But we've always been focused on software as a service, and we built this public cloud offering, which we're having a lot of success with. But still, our client base tends to be tech companies and technical people. We didn't really have a presence out into the enterprise space. Now, Dimension Data, which was recently acquired by NTT, so we're part of even a bigger.
Oh my goodness, that I didn't know.
Yeah, so we go from $6 billion at Dimension Data, $130 billion for NTT, has always been focused on on-prem. Especially in the network integration. And our big differentiator in our cloud offering has been our ability to control the networking layer as well as the server, the layer, and the storage layer. And they're looking at this as a great opportunity for them to break into the cloud for their enterprise client base. And they had that client base, almost all Global 500s. 94% of the Global 100 are all Dimension Data clients. And they were looking for the technology. We had the technology, but of course our focus was tech companies and not into the enterprise. And it's been a real nice fit for that.
And how long does that take to play out? So there's this dream client list, a dream technology, but someone has still got to mesh the two together.
Some of the things have already happened, which is great. I mean, when we were acquired, we had a few hosting centers, but we had one cloud center in Northern Virginia. We shortly then opened up one in San Jose, so we had one on each side of the country. But we've now also opened Amsterdam, Sydney, Australia, Johannesburg. Hong Kong will be open within the next month and a half, as will probably India and even maybe Indonesia. So we now have centers all over the world where we had one before. So some of the benefits are already getting there. Some are still going to take some time. The ability to do private clouds now within the public cloud architecture is something that was very important to Dimension Data clients because of data sovereignty or because of latency and location issues where they had to bring it into, their offices. They have office in Tanzania, right? And in Tanzania isn't going to be able even to use a Johannesburg public cloud. They need something local because of latency issues. And that's going to take a little more time as the clients understand that they can get that from Dimension Data, where in the past they might have had to do it themselves. Now they can buy a service. And that we're out communicating and stumping on so people can start thinking of Dimension Data that way. But for our clients and for the clients who are buying us online and for all, they've got immediate benefit with just a whole host of new locations and new capabilities.
I'm thinking Dimension Data got a bargain when they snapped up Treb Ryan. What do you think? You're always down to earth, so despite all that globality and all the different data centers, the fact is you just love things to work. I know it.
Could you tell this to my wife, please, about how down to earth I am? She always says I'm my own biggest fan, is what she says. So yeah, it's that's been one of the great things though about this is that the guys we work with at Dimension Data have been just great guys. I've been acquired every time. This is my third startup and the third one to be acquired, and never have I enjoyed working with people as much. With that focus, it's new for them because they haven't had as many of their own products in the past, and a development team and services are all new for Dimension Data. But guys who are concerned about the clients, who are concerned about the people who work there, that we have in spades, and that's been really enjoyable.
Now, how can we catch up with you, Treb? People go to datadimension.com, dimensiondata.com, but how do they find the cloudy part?
All right, well, you can go to dimensiondata.com/cloud, and because what we've discovered is that while it's easy to tell you that we're now part of Dimension Data, telling the search engines isn't quite as easy. And it's very important for us to have those search engines pointing back to us in order to pick up new clients. OpSource is still going to stay as a brand name, especially for software and tech companies, and the ability to go to opsource.net and learn everything you want about cloud is still there.
Okay, well, we'll try and help out with that. So still go to opsource.net, but help out Treb Ryan by going to dimensiondata.com/cloud. And I suppose a little final message to Mrs. Ryan. You're completely wrong. Thanks so much for joining us. Thank you. That's it. Thank you for joining us, Treb, as always, here in New York City, and thank you for following along out there on the World Wide Web.